Hello and welcome. All right, I gotta be honest with you. I've been kind of slacking on my practicing lately. So I'm gonna practice, and I thought it would be a really great idea to bring you in on this practice. So I would love it if you practiced right along with me. This is gonna be a short-ish routine. I'm hoping that it's like 15 minutes or less, but we'll see where this takes us. And this will also give you some insight into how I approach a practice. So for today, I'm picking a key. So we're gonna be playing around with the key of D minor. And so I like to begin my practices by just playing the scale. So D minor scale, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, and D. And then we can just kind of begin, hands together. And we'll head back down the way we went up. Now the thing with scales is it can be very, very easy to get into autopilot and just kind of be like, oh, I'm practicing my scales right now. I would really like to challenge you to be really mindful with what you're doing. So notice I'm now playing my right hand staccato. This is really forcing me to focus on what I'm doing. So see if you can do that with me. In a moment, I'm gonna reverse. So now my left hand is staccato. This took a lot of practice to be able to do, by the way. So if this doesn't come naturally to you out the gates, do not worry. It's kind of like riding a bike. We'll head back down the scale, and then we will pause for a moment. If you want a little bit more support with your scale practice, we've got you covered with the Piano Chords and Scales book. So everything you need is right here, beautifully organized and available in the Pianote shop. You can find the link below this video. Okay, so that was the natural minor. But today I want to play around with the harmonic minor. They sound so pretty. So we're going to take the 7th note of the scale and raise it by a half step. So C is the 7th note. We're going to raise it a half step and play it as C sharp. And the reason for this is, well, harmonic minors are really good scales to practice, but we're going to be messing around with some chords shortly, and you're going to be like, how does this chord fit the scale? And the clue can be found in the harmonic minor scale, so it'll all come together. Let's do this one more time. Okay, I'm going to throw something crazy at you. As we come back down to the bottom of the scale, we're going to play it one more time, but double time. So see if you can do that with me. One more time. Boom. So there's my scale. My fingers are feeling warmed up. I feel focused on what I'm doing, and I'm going to move on to the next thing. So the next thing I want to practice are chords. Now, we're going to be practicing our chord inversions, but we're going to be doing it a slightly non-traditional way. We're going to have some fun with it because this can be boring. So I want you to just play a D minor chord with me 4 times. You can play the outer shell with your left hand, so just the D and the A. Then we're going to move to B flat 4 times. Then to G minor. Now we're going to play an A major. And you might be thinking, A major does not belong in D minor, Lisa. There's no C sharp. But remember, we borrow that C sharp from the harmonic minor, and it gives us this really, really cool sounding chord progression. So let's do that one more time. 2. Let's move both hands together. Let's play full tries in both hands. B flat. 2, 3, 4 to G minor. 2, 3, 4 to A. Now, if you're at a place where you can play your inversions, we're going to play and then move to B flat. And then G minor. So notice I'm just keeping my left hand still right now. I'm going to bring it along for the ride now. And I'm using my pedal just to give it a little extra something. So every time I change my chords, I lift the pedal to A major. Okay, so now we've had some fun with chord inversions. We're going to shift gears now into arpeggios. So same notes as the chords, but they're just played a little differently. 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to tuck 1, 2, 3, 5, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. And we're gonna do that same thing on all of those chords. So very slowly, I'm just kind of playing octaves in my left hand, just makes it sound cool. We're gonna move down to G minor. A major. Let's see if we can do a little bit faster. G minor. So there's no autopilot in this. Now maybe we want to switch things up. So let's play our octaves in our right hand. B flat. I have to think about this so much harder. G. A. That was hard, so I'm going to do it one more time. B flat. G. A. Whoa. That's super fun. See, I feel like I could just spend a lot of time here. We've got chords, we've got scales, we've got arpeggios. We're working our hands, we're working our coordination. And now the one thing I need to add to this is exploring a little bit more creatively. So I'm going to keep those same chords. And I'm going to create a pattern in my left hand using that progression. And this is where it's just really good to sort of let your mind wander. You can use the notes, my mind wandered already, of the D minor scale and just kind of see what happens. Keep this going. Here, on this A chord, you can use that C sharp. That's okay. G minor. So this is where you could kind of take it wherever you want it to go. This is a great way to test, let's go back to D minor, how well you know your scale. Because you're keeping something going here, and you're putting yourself in a position where you don't actually have a rule book. I'm not saying, hey, play this, play that. I'm saying play whatever you feel like. Just make sure you're in the D minor scale. And if it doesn't sound good, just play something different. I'll play one more round. So what you play is going to sound different than what I play, and if you were playing along with me, we might have had some really cool harmonies that happened as we played together at the same time. So this is something I highly recommend you do in every single practice. Now, to end this practice, we're going to take a completely different turn, and we're going to work on sight reading. So my brain has now had this like creative moment, this creative space, and now I'm going to put it to work with reading some notes because it's a really important skill. So I've been working on, or I'm going to be working on, a song by Bach. I don't know a lot about the song other than that my sheet music says BWV 974 Adagio, and it's in D minor, and it's really pretty sounding. So I'm going to be showing you the first 2 lines of this song, and I want to walk you through my process for sight reading a piece of music. And I recommend that you do this every single day. This one's in 3/4. It starts on D, and it's got 8th notes, so it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and, I mean, that feels good right there. I just read a whole bar of music. It was all the same note, but it did it. So then you can feel good about that. And then the next measure, I'm just going to look at that. Okay, what is going on here? I've got E and D. I'm going to bring my left hand in for now. 1 and 2 and 3 and then I just pause and I think about what's coming next. What are the shapes? Well, I've got E and G, and I've got C sharp and A. Okay. And 2 and 3 and then it looks looks a little crazier, so I'm gonna sort out my right hand first. And I've got an F and a D, and then 5 on F. Then I'm gonna replace my 3 on F. 5, 2, 4, 3, and then we're gonna play B flat, but you can also play this little mordent back and forth. And then I'll put our hands together. So I'm just gonna think about what's happening first. There's a D on an octave, I believe, and then D and F. That seems straightforward. And then the next measure, we've got a G. Ooh, that's so pretty, that joins in. Okay, so very slowly. Isn't that so pretty? 3, and, oh my gosh, okay. So a skilled sight reader could probably just carry on, but I'm gonna take a moment and I'm gonna figure it out first. C, E flat D, E, G, F, G, B flat A, okay? And then since I'm here, let's figure out this last little bit with our right hand. So we've got, what's a crazy rhythm? I'm looking at where my left hand chords are to help me line up where to land with my right hand. It's a very helpful trick. D, E, C sharp, D, F, E, F, G, E, F, A, G, and then we'll stop there. Okay, so the left hand looks pretty straightforward. I keep wanting to play E flat in this one. So we've got C and E. And 2, going very slow. 3, and we'll stop there. But I have to finish the measure. Okay, now I can stop. All right, so that would be my little sight reading time. And I try to include that every time I sit down to practice. Sight reading is not my favorite, which is why I always pick a song that sounds beautiful to me, because it's a little more inspiring to play something that your ears like. And I just take a little bit of time with it. And often what happens is, as I get so absorbed in the music, I'm like, oh, one more measure, one more measure. And before you know it, I'm working through a song. Now, if you are the same way, and you're hearing this and you're like, oh, this is beautiful, I've got you, because we've got the sheet music. You can download it and learn and practice and play and enjoy this one at home. All right, there you have it. That wasn't a crazy long practice. It was short, it was sweet, and it was effective. I think that's the most important thing to keep in mind. When it comes to practices, you don't have to practice hours a day. If you can, great. But what is most important, more important than the time you spend in like minutes, is the quality of the time you spend at the piano. So if all you have is 15 minutes, you can still accomplish incredible things. So comment below, let me know how this goes. Tell us a little bit about your practice routine, because I think we can all learn from each other, and most of all, happy practicing.